Nick Gallo, Bally Sports. Mark, you often talk about liking these mini-series for that game-to-game learning. Is there any better example of that in your tenure than the way that your team approached this?
Yeah, I thought our approach was great. Credit to our players. We knew the type of mentality that we wanted to bring to the game. I thought we really imposed ourselves on the game early. Obviously, we built a huge lead down there, but early in the game, we didn't have that lead, and we built it with a pretty bloodthirsty mentality, and I was really pleased with the guys.
Shai seemed to really catalyze that. Not only did he have the 20 first quarter points, but he also had 3 steals in the first quarter. What did you see from him on both ends in terms of that tone setting?
Yeah, obviously he scored it tonight and he had it going. He didn't do anything scoring wise tonight that we haven't seen before, but I thought tonight was like a pretty big leadership statement game for him. I think when you need a response like we needed tonight coming out of the other night, you rely on your guys that are most experienced to play the most minutes. He's an all-star player now. You rely on them to be tone setters, and I thought he was a man on fire to start the game.
Paris Lawson, Bally Sports, 153 points, just sustained offense through 48 minutes tonight. What did you like best from what you saw on that end of the floor?
Obviously we made shots tonight. There's always the shot-making element of it, but I thought we generated good ones. We passed the ball to each other. I thought we had a really good tempo in the offense and chose our attacks wisely, moved off it when we needed to, got out and ran. Thought the rebounding had a lot to do with that tonight. Obviously, they pounded us on the glass the other night. Tonight, we secured a lot of rebounds. We made a miss, and that got us out on the break, too.
And just speaking of rebounding, Mike seemed to give you some really solid minutes tonight, starting at the 5. Not just the scoring, but it seemed like he was just boxing out, helping to secure some rebounds. What did you think of what he brought to the table?
Yeah, I think he had 5 rebounds at halftime, and that was huge. I thought, the other night, they were at the rim, they were at the line, and that, prevented missed shots. And then when they missed shots, they got, 25 of them back. And tonight, we made them miss more, we made them settle more. And we rebounded the ball. And like I said, that got us out on the break and got us playing with pace and sharing it.
Andrew Schlecht of The Athletic. Just curious your thoughts on J-Dub's game. He didn't look to score a whole lot, but looked to kind of link the team together. Just your thoughts.
Yeah, the thing that's been most impressive about him, dating back to watching him play college games, is he just plays the possession. He doesn't force anything. I think he's got to learn where he can choose his spots a little more, and become more aggressive. I didn't think he lacked aggression tonight. Thought the Denver game was the last game that he did, that I thought he was a little too passive, but his floor game's outstanding. He had, I don't know how many assists he had tonight. Must have had 5, 6.
He had 7.
Yeah, he was really passing the ball, and he lets the game tell him what to do. And I think for a young player, older players learn that, but for a young player to have that level of maturity is pretty impressive. So I thought he had a very quiet, good game for us tonight.
And then you got an extended look at Ousmane Dieng. Your thoughts on how he's progressing?
Yeah, same thing. It's early on from the injury. We've already seen his peak. I don't think he's back there from a performance standpoint. He's obviously healthy now. It was nice to see a couple go in for him. I think that always gives players confidence. But, before he got hurt, he was playing with a good amount of force and had really gotten used to the physicality of the game. And I think he's growing in that right now, but not where he was there. He is going to go back to the blue here soon. And that was a pre-planned thing. That was just, we wanted to get him back kind of under our umbrella first, get him back around the team. He hasn't been around the guys in a while. Get him back on the court, check in with them, and then, get him on an assignment where he can put his head down and get a lot of minutes and, replicate what we did early in the year with him. So just as a heads up.
Yep, thanks.
Joe Muscala, the Oklahoman. Mark, you mentioned phrases like imposing your will, being bloodthirsty. Did that have just directly to do with what's happened in this series this season and what happened a couple of nights ago? And could you sense that was going to be the case before the game, or do you kind of wait and see how the guys are going to respond once the ball tips?
I think it was more a response to the other night. Okay. The one earlier in the year was earlier in the year, but we're a team that's growing in confidence, and I think our habits are growing. I think a lot of things are moving in the right direction, and anytime you're off track there. And the Houston game the other night wasn't the only time that's happened. Like we got off track defensively against Atlanta. We got off track in the first quarter against Golden State. And in 82 games, you're going to be off track sometimes, but getting the car back on the road is critical, and we've had a habit of doing that, and I give our players a lot of credit for that. When you challenge them on something, they typically try to get it done, and obviously they got it done tonight.
Then Jay Will took back-to-back charges against Şengün for his third and fourth fouls. He makes a couple of threes. Looks like he plays with contagious joy out there. He's always smiling. He's always smiling.
Yeah.
What's it like to watch him play and watch him develop over the course of his rookie season?
Yeah, I mean, the game requires energy. You have to have energy in a game, in a possession, and in an 82-game season where there's a lot of ups and downs. We happen to be in the dog days of the season right now. This period between New Year and All-Star break typically is a condensed schedule, and you're just in the malaise of the season. And so when you've got, you want players and you want to make plays that give your team energy, because energy is required to be a good team, but it's hard to come by. And he's an energy person first and foremost. He's got a very contagious personality. He does bring a joy to the gym every day. Forget about the game, and then he plays with a contagious energy. And I think when someone's bringing that type of energy to the team, it keeps the fire burning. Through an 82-game season.
I know his three-point shooting is really, really small sample this season, but he didn't shoot it well last season from three at Arkansas. Again, not a huge volume of attempts. Is that something that, I don't know if you guys saw in him early on, or you've seen him improve at just his three-point shot?
The one thing I saw early on is a willingness to do it, and that's sometimes interesting. I mean, we didn't, early in training camp, we weren't telling him to do it or not to do it. You're just kind of assessing the way these guys enter the highway, so to speak. And he wasn't shy, early. So you just kind of, chalk it up and see how it goes. Because obviously that wasn't his thing, like you said, in college. But he's got a nice stroke, and he does it with confidence. And he plays that shooting game with the guys, and he's talking trash to, better shooters than him, which, is delusional a little bit, but it's also confident. And he steps in there, he's open, he's being guarded by fives, and there are a lot of them they're trying to plug off him, and he's making them pay right now. And I think he's got a really good blend of knowing what to shoot and what not to shoot, as well. He's not just up there firing, and he never really takes an inappropriate one. Sometimes he'll pass one and he'll get to the next action. I just think he's developing a nice little feel there.
Derek Parker, Inside the Thunder. Shai took 23 shots tonight, had 6 assists, had the ball a ton, but he had no turnovers. How impactful is it to have a star like that who can really take care of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I thought tonight transcended his play. I thought on the court he did everything that he normally does, but I thought the mentality he brought to the game and the mentality he brought to the team, coming off of a game where we played below where we want to play, he led tonight more than anything with the way he approached the game and the stats and the way he played offensively and defensively was downstream from that.
I know you guys have that 0-0 mindset and you're going to practice later on this week, but how important was it having a game like this before you hit a road trip?
I mean, it's important to have a game like this whenever you can, when you answer the bell, respond to the challenges of competition. I thought we kind of declared ourselves to ourselves tonight. Tonight was a challenge for our team. And I thought the guys, we didn't lay it out. It wasn't like I was giving any motivational speeches. But, there was a team that kind of banded together and decided that they were going to come out and play the way they did. And they were impressive because of it.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about imposing your will on the game, but Shai's getting in the paint, he's getting baskets, but he's not doing crazy dunks or anything. He's not launching threes or anything. He's not doing anything overly physically forceful, but yet he's dominating the game. Can you talk a little bit about the basketball IQ that's required to be able to do that the way he does it?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player, and I think we've seen that not only this year, we've seen it through time, but it's funny, Sam Presti, our general manager, we had an all-staff meeting at the beginning of the year, and there was a Miles Davis quote he put up there, and he said, 20% is the note you play and 80% is the attitude that you play with. And I could be wrong on the percentages, but that's the spirit of the quote. And I thought tonight what was impressive about Shai in particular, and I thought it was contagious to our team, we didn't do anything tonight that we're not capable of doing. We played the same notes we always play, but I thought the attitude that we brought to it, and the attitude in particular he brought to it, you guys can ask me all the questions about his points and his IQ. I'm not going to let anything derail the way I saw tonight from him. I thought tonight was a huge leadership step for that guy.
Coach, obviously tonight was a very good win for you to get. If you had to compare it to a Bruce Springsteen song, which one would it be?
I don't know. There's too many good Bruce Springsteen songs to choose, so
Fair enough.
I'll wrap it.
Nick Gallo, Valley Sports. Isaiah, what was it like coming out of the locker room through the tunnel? Was there an attitude that you felt like you guys collectively had tonight coming into this game?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely had a lot of energy coming into this game. We had a purpose coming into this game, and I think we executed, our game plan pretty well. But I think that all started, with the way that we, mentally prepared for this game.
And then physically, what impact did Shai and his demeanor and leadership have on the opening minutes of this one?
Ask that again.
What impact did Shai's kind of demeanor and the way that he physically attacked this game have on just the way that this one played out?
Yeah, I think that's a question you would really have to ask him. But Shai's just he's just a hell of a player. He's a great leader. His mentality, he has a killer instinct going into every game. I'm pretty sure y'all can see that. But he's got a knack for the game that a lot of people don't have, and he's got a skill that is just next to none. So he's just one of the greatest players I've seen live so far. So it's amazing to see.
And then you microwaved some offense there in that third quarter. Just tell me about that little flurry where you had the step back three and then the and one bucket.
Yeah, I mean that's just like I said, comes from energy, comes from ball movement. Getting it on defense first, getting stops and running. It's just everything kind of blends together. I think we really did a good job of moving the ball today, which gave the whole team energy, which was a big reason why we were able to get a jump like that today.
Paris Lawson, Valley Sports. J. Will's been knocking down some threes recently. What have you thought of how he's been able to shoot the ball, and have you seen that out of him before he came to the Thunder?
It's Arkansas ties. No, but J. Will is definitely, he's definitely an improved shooter. He's been shooting the hell out of the ball lately, and that's something that he's really been working on that a lot of people don't know. But he's really been putting a lot of hours in, working on his shot, and so it's just really good to see it, translate onto the court.
Mark mentioned that he talked some smack during that 3-point shooting game that you guys do at practice. Is that?
Oh yeah, always.
Okay.
It's always a lot of talking in those. It's fun though. It makes us better. Yeah.
Anything else? Danny?
How fun is it being out there on a night like this?
Oh, it's fun. It's a game of high energy. The ball moves. The ball has energy. Get a lot of stops. Run the floor. It's fun. Having a franchise scoring record is a feature that a lot of teams don't get to get. And so just the way that we played today was it was amazing.
And how important was it to have a game like this to set the tone for a road trip?
Really important, just kind of give us a boost going into this road trip, hoping to keep up the same intensity, the same energy, going into these future games.
Andrew Schlecht of The Athletic. Did you like having the opportunity to get this one against Houston that you just played on Wednesday? Probably didn't put your best foot forward. Like, what were the conversations like between Wednesday and tonight between the team?
Yeah, for sure. We owed them one, especially what they after they beat us at their place. We definitely owed them one. We came into this game with a different mentality, and so that's what we need to do night in and night out.
Anything else?
Paris Lawson, Valley Sports. Shai, just after the last game against Houston, what was the tone you guys were trying to set from the outset tonight?
Just be the aggressors, play our brand, our style of basketball. I think we got away from that a little bit in Houston. We just want to get back on track.
And obviously the offense for you guys was sustained through 48 minutes, 153 points. Everybody scored. Just what was working so well offensively for you all tonight?
We played fast. We played in the paint, and we played together. When we do so, we're the best versions of ourselves.
Front row.
Michael Martin, the Oklahoman. Shai, you guys are about to go out on a West Coast road trip, and you're going to get another TNT game against LeBron as he goes. He's 36 points away from the all-time scoring leader. I just wanted to ask, because there's no real, I guess, game plan or like to-do list on how to prepare for something like that. How do you prepare, I guess, the guys in the locker room for a big game like that that's going to have a lot of attention against somebody like LeBron?
Treat it like any other game. If no matter the game, no matter what channel it's on, no matter who we play against, if we approach it how we approach the game tonight, we'll be okay. And we'll give ourselves the best shot. So I would say just treat it like any other game.
Andrew Schlecht of The Athletic. I'm curious what you thought of Jalen Williams, J-Dub's game tonight. He didn't look to score a lot, but was looking to kind of connect the team offensively and then gave a lot on defense. I'm just curious your thoughts.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Dub knows how to play basketball. And I think that's his best skill. He can do so many things on the court, offensively and defensively. And he's super versatile, and he'll do whatever it takes for us to win.
That's an all-star starter right there, just so y'all know.
I was just talking about you, too.
Yeah, that's an all-star starter.
Okay, bye. Get out the room.
You got the clip?
Okay, Dub.
Got it. Good job, man. Way to play.
Go home. Yeah. He does so many things on the court that help us win and would help any team win basketball games. And I think he does that every night. Now, some nights it looks like 25 and 10. Some nights it looks like how it looked tonight. But he approaches the game and affects the game every night for sure.
Was there a part of you guys that were glad to have this game next after the way you guys played Wednesday?
It made it easier to prepare for it just because it was the next one, and it was fresh on our mind. We had a bad taste in our mouth. I know me personally did. It just made it a little bit easier to prepare for.
Got Daigneault in the back.
When you're out there and you get like point 14 or whatever in the first quarter, do you know it's about to be a special night, or are you just too much in the zone?
Yeah, I'm just running up and down. A lot of times, I don't even know when I'm at. I'm just playing, being aggressive, and I know if I made a few in a row, I'll feel good. But yeah, I just try to stay in the game, stay within the flow, and be aggressive.
And then how much fun are you having out there? It looks like you guys on the bench, when your teammates are doing something good or when you're doing something good, they cheer, you cheer for them. How much fun are you having?
Yeah, this team is super fun. And I think the real indicator of what type of team we are is through the bad moments and the bad games. And I think we've been really good this year. If we're in a drought, if we have a bad night, we're the same to each other. We don't let our personalities get in between the game. We all really like each other, get along. And I think you guys see it meshing on the court, and it looks like we're having fun out there. But I think it's because we really like each other, and we have fun playing basketball.
And Mark talked about this being a good leadership game for you. Was there a different approach that you took to this game?
For me personally, I wanted to set a tone for sure. Just because I didn't like how I played in Houston on both ends of the floor. So I wanted to kind of get that bad taste out of my mouth and set a tone and get it going early.
Anybody else? Awesome.
Shai, you were kind of playing like you were snubbed from something today. Mm-hmm. You know you're an all-star, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. You should chill out a little bit because you're going crazy today. But as far as personal goals, I know you're not going to say your goal is to be an all-star starter, but personal goals, is that kind of what's next for you? Is that the next step for you?
That's a good question. I haven't really I don't really I wouldn't say that's on my list. I have goals I want to be on an All NBA team. I want to make an all defensive team. 50, 40, 90. Obviously, like championships and things like that, MVPs. But I don't try to prioritize them. I have goals, and that's what I'm ultimately working towards. And I try to just take it day by day, and know that's what I'm aiming for, and that's a standard that I hold myself to.
Nick Gallo, Valley Sports. Mike, you got the start tonight, and it seemed like from the very outset you all really changed the tenor of the rebounding battle compared to Wednesday. What was the difference tonight?
It's a good question. I gotta watch the tape, but I think obviously having that happen to us in the game, is definitely more of a focus area, and I think just collectively we did a good job helping each other on the glass.
And just from an attitude standpoint, did you feel anything kind of collective about the way that you all approached the game, even running out in the tunnel for warm-ups or as the game started?
Yeah, I think we were just aggressive from the jump and consistently, and just especially offensively, and just made the simple play, took the open shots, and the ball was going in, and I think that was kind of fueling our game for most of the night. But I think just when guys came in off the bench, they were focused, and we didn't let any of the leads slip, which can happen sometimes when you get out to an early lead.
Shai, not just because of the scoring, but he just seemed to kind of have that look about him of determination and decisiveness. What did you see just from kind of maybe a leadership standpoint from him coming off, what you all coming off and then being named an All-Star?
Yeah, no, a great game for him tonight. Obviously, he's been so great all year. Super happy for him. Very, very well deserved that he's an All-Star. And just another great performance by him tonight. He led us again.
Paris Halson, Valley Sports. Mike, just obviously after the last Houston game, the game-to-game learning seemed to be on display for you guys. Just what are you guys most proud of in terms of how you responded tonight versus the last game against Houston on Wednesday?
Yeah, just consistent effort, and coach usually shows quite a few clips before the game. Mark, we know we showed some scouting clips, but he just said he didn't show any today, and he just said, we'll see how you guys respond. So I think that just kind of put us in a mindset of being aggressive, but keeping it simple at the same time.
Obviously, the offense was working really well for you guys tonight, and the 3-pointers were falling. The assists were up tonight as well. Just what was the rhythm like out there between everybody on the floor?
No, it was a good rhythm. I think when guys are taking open shots and creating shots for other guys, that's the best kind of rhythm you can have on offense. You kind of know when to expect them to shoot, and then you can kind of offensive rebound accordingly. I thought we had some good offensive rebounds tonight too. So yeah, I think it was just it felt like guys kind of knew where the ball was going, and we had a good rhythm out there offensively.
Andrew Schlecht of The Athletic. Mark described your mentality throughout the game as a bloodthirsty mentality. Is that something that had kind of built? You guys had lost 4 in a row to the Rockets and lost on Wednesday. Kind of got to get redemption early. Is that something that you guys had developed over the course of the week, or is that on your mind as you're heading into this game?
Yeah, perhaps. I don't know. I think we just took it possession at a time, and that's a big part of that mentality is the consistency of it, and not letting an early lead, like I was saying earlier, change your approach. So it's just a credit to all the guys tonight for keeping that, because it it can be a little hard to maintain that for the whole game, and I felt like we kept our foot in the gas.
And then Jalen Williams, Jay Willis, shot the ball really well as a big. What have you seen from him and just his approach to shooting in particular?
Yeah, he's shooting it very well this year, and it makes him a great threat out there. When he's able to roll and pop and create space for the guards. So he's got good pace on his shot. He takes his time, and we work on it every day in practice. So it's great to see him just confident to take those shots and make them.
Joe Muscala, the Oklahoman. Mike, you've played with Shai for 4 years now, and when Mark was talking about his ascent to becoming an all-star, he described it like more gradual. It's not like a flip switched overnight or anything like that. I'm just wondering, like, what your view is as one of his teammates has been as he's kind of just gradually made this improvement from year to year.
Yeah, he's always been very in the moment, on and off the court, and a great teammate, just supporting other guys, giving them confidence. But in terms of his individual game, just, I don't know. I mean, his quickness and his balance and his strength. He can do it all out there, and just his ISO situations this year, he's been phenomenal, and it's just opened up the court for everybody, and he's making that pass, to the perimeter, to keep the double off him, at times, but just his aggressiveness, and his consistency this year has just been, amazing to watch and a blessing to play with. But yeah, I mean, throughout the 4 years, he puts the work in, and he stays humble. That's what I've noticed about him too. He doesn't get too high or too low, and he just stays really humble. So I have a lot of respect for that.
Kind of to piggyback off that, Mark said tonight that it was a huge step for Shai in terms of leadership too, which he's obviously been growing in over the last 4 years. Can you just kind of speak on how he's changed as a leader as well?
Yeah, definitely leading by a great example this year, and his effort level just across the board, offensive and defensively, really resonates. I've said that earlier this year, but it really resonates with all the guys, and just his attitude. He's, like I said, his humility goes a long way. When he's your best player, and he's got a good head on his shoulders. So it's been really important for us this year.
Daniel's got one. Second round. Shai's had a few games like this year. When he gets like .16 or whatever, does it seem like it's going to be a special night for him, for you guys?
When he gets what?
When he gets like .16.
Oh, in the first quarter. Yeah. No, I remember someone was saying something when I went back to the bench in the first quarter, and they're like, he's already got 17 points or whatever it is. I was like, wow. Yeah, he, especially at the start of the game, when he comes out and he's putting us in a 10, 12-point lead, that's really important in the NBA, I think. And there's been times where we've been on the other end and we've been down by that much in the first quarter to start off the game, and it can be hard to come back from that, So, yeah, when he's, coming in to start the game and making those shots and spraying the ball out, it's a huge, huge help for us.
And then how important was it to set the tone for a road trip with a game like this?
No, it's important. I mean, we weren't really thinking about the road trip tonight, but it'll be a fun road trip, some big games for us. And I think we're all looking forward to it, yeah.
Mike, I feel like you're in kind of a unique role on this team. Some games you may be a DNP, some games you may come in and get 5 minutes, some games you'll start. Can you kind of like walk us through the mental preparation that comes with, whatever you may, or whichever role you may have to fulfill per game?
Yeah. I mean, Coach always does a good job communicating with me, kind of what the plan is, but I told him at the beginning of the year I didn't want to know if I wasn't going to be playing or not this year. I just wanted to stay in my routine, and, I think we've had some really good practices and shoot-arounds this year as a team collectively, and, it's been helpful for me just to stay in the gym and, just kind of do my work, get my shots up and everything, and I think we've had some good guys who haven't been playing a lot, on days where like the day after a game, like tomorrow, for example, and just getting some good runs in and playing. And I think that's helped a lot of guys on the team. So just trying to, stay focused and just take things one day at a time.
Michael Martin, the Oklahoman. There's a lot of vets around the NBA and coaches who will say the things about young teams don't know how to win or they need to learn how to win. You've been on some high-level playoff teams and been around for a while. I just wanted to get your take on what exactly you think that means as young teams trying to learn how to win, and how do you think this team is doing in that category?
It's a good question. I think with older, more experienced teams, there's always much more of an expectation to win. And so I think there can be kind of a self-fulfilling, situation there, and so I think that can be the challenge with young teams, is just like having the confidence and the belief that we're expected to win this game even if other people don't expect you to. So I think that's where we've taken some good steps forward this year, and by putting the work in, and getting the results, and then that kind of creates a cycle that it's like, okay, we've gotten this result and we're hungry for more.